Hey everybody, today's video is the second part of our series on getting new detectorists into the sport. So although this series is designed for those people who are brand new to detectoring and you really have no idea what to do or where to get started, they just want to jump right in. We hope that all of you experienced detectorists can learn something along the way. So this episode is going to be dedicated to showing you how we run our higher end machines. So today's video you're going to see the Garrett AT Max and the Equinox 800. We're going to walk you through our basic setup so that if you guys decided to buy one after our last video, you can pick this video up, take a look at it, and it will get you a good starting point to learn your machine. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. I appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping by. Hey everybody, Colby from Amphibious Archeology here, behind the camera again as usual, and we've got Richard here today who is going to walk us through his Equinox 800. So before we get going, just a little bit of house cleaning. This week we were originally going to cover some of the entry-level detectors that we talked about in the last video, but unfortunately due to some family problems with a few of our members, we were unable to all meet up and hang out. So this week we're going to cover up the higher end detectors that we showed you in our intro to metal detecting video number 1. So if you would, take it away. Tell us about your machine.
All right, yeah, I've got the Knox 800. It's in the Equinox series. There's an Equinox 600 and an 800. This one's the 800. And they basically work the same. My setup is pretty simple. I have some custom programs, but for the type of relic hunting and stuff that we do, I use kind of the preset.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I haven't had any problems with mine in the default settings, so I've always enjoyed it. And I think what today, we're not looking to go crazy in depth, so we don't have to show any kind of unique programs or anything, but we want to show everybody at home if they bought this. Yeah, if they bought this, what would you do if you were going to go hunt someone's yard or a park? How would you set your machine up?
All right, to put it, I guess, into layman's terms, basically you would turn it on.
Yep, with the on switch right on the side.
Yeah. Okay, and then I usually run in part 1, which is the first one, depending on where we're at. Then later on, for the first hunt of a permission, I'll use part 1. And then later on, after we've dug it for a while, I sometimes change up programs to see if there's stuff that I missed, because on an Equinox, let me move that so it's not as loud. On an Equinox, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, it has several different programs.
Yeah.
And you have part 1, part 2. You have field 1. Let me go to those.
Part 2 here. Yep.
And then
field 1.
Field 1, field 2. Then you have beach 1, beach 2. And then you have mining, like gold mining or prospecting.
Okay.
All right, so the ones on this is, they pick up higher tones. They're better for identifying silver and large coppers and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you're hunting for older coins, that's the one you want to be in.
Yeah, if you're wanting to find silver, that would be the one you want to be in. They also have a download online where you can get the 4 kilohertz option as well, and that is supposed to be really, really good for silver.
Cool.
A lot of people use that. All right, so let's go through the setup here. All right, so once you turn it on, the first thing that I do is push the little gear.
Yep.
All right, and it'll show that circle with the little lightning, whatever it is.
Yep.
And you lift it up to waist height, and you push the add reject button, and it's going to cycle up in the air, like the power lines or any kind of stuff. And
okay, and you do that every time?
Yeah, every time.
Okay.
Even if I go from this yard to that yard,
just in case.
Just in case, to make sure that I'm getting the optimal amount of
like noise cancellation.
Noise cancellation.
Okay.
Exactly. Sorry,
No, you're good.
got 15 things going through. All right. So once you do that, what I always do, and you know, like I said, I probably do things backwards, but you change your setting by hitting this, and then that goes to your ground balance.
Okay, and then you can see a little metal detector icon here.
Yeah, so once you noise cancel, then you go to your ground balance. All right, so what I try to do is once you get there, I always push that button, and then go to your pinpoint. And then I find a place in the lawn that doesn't have a signal.
So you're trying to find the quietest spot that you can.
Because if say you landed on a 50-cent piece, and you ground balanced on that 50,
it would Lord,
it would make it harder to find that.
Okay.
All right, so right there should be good.
Yep.
So I'll click that on, and then you'll see the little coil, and then you hold down the add reject.
Okay.
And then you pump it. Now once your number on the screen stays the same, then you know it's your ground balance.
Okay, so that 17 will go up or down depending on whatever the ground.
Whatever mineralization's in the ground.
Okay.
Exactly. All right, then you can go to your volume.
Okay.
Being that we're not using headphones, I'm going to turn it down so
just a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So once you get your volume, then you go to your threshold level. I keep mine at 0.
Okay.
Okay. Some people run. I mean, you know, but it does me very well just leaving it at 0. And then your target tones, I like 50. A lot of people like 5 because they don't like the different tones. But for me, it helps me pick out the difference between a square nail and a silver.
Okay.
Because it'll throw a little different tone in there.
Okay.
And it helps me identify it better. All right, then your next is your accept reject. I usually keep mine around -9. You can mess with it if you want. You know, you can look up to it and see what's right for you, because if you live in the mountains of Virginia,
it may be a lot different
than Florida.
Yeah.
So you want to find out what's best for you. And then your recovery speed, I like 4 because I like going a little slower. If you're a fast swinger, then all you do is you hit your plus, and you can go up. Most people that I know is between 4 and 6. Some people go down to 3, and some people go down up to 7. But I like to keep mine at 4 because it's just a smooth, even swing. All right, then once you're done with that, hit your target ID button, and you're ready to metal detect.
Okay, let's walk around here. Now I don't know, this is our front yard, so I'm not quite sure what we're gonna find, but you know, if anything, we want to show you guys what it sounds like and
how to pinpoint.
Yeah, what to expect.
So
and you just want to do even swings like this.
You want to keep your coil as close to the ground as possible, because if you're up here doing it, you're losing that many inches.
Yeah.
Of depth.
Now I will say from personal experience, and I mean, you know, we'll get back to that in a second. Let's see what this is. Interesting.
It says 3132.
Okay, so you guys can see this here.
And then you push this button.
Yep.
Until both of those lines connect.
Okay.
And then that's the center.
Okay, so what do those arrows mean?
All right, the arrows is your depth.
Okay.
All right. Now, in the manual it'll tell you that each arrow is up to 2 inches. That doesn't mean it's 2 inches.
But it's up to?
But if it was 2 inches, then this would be, because there's 5 arrows, it would be 10 inches down. But some of them's 1.5 inches, some of them's 1 inch, you know, but,
okay.
But it shouldn't go over 2 inches.
Okay.
So
kind of actually interested to see what this is. I'm
maybe
sure.
a pipe.
Well,
because
yeah, I mean, this is all fill dirt, so we're not expecting to find anything cool, but just to give you an idea of what to expect with doing this kind of stuff. So,
and then once you get it out, I mean, you can check it with your coil there.
But this gets so much faster with a pinpointer because you can see all that dirt that we just.
The good news is,
it's not a pipe.
It's not a pipe.
What is that?
It looks like
a clip of some kind.
Screen clip to a window screen.
Okay.
But that'll give you, I mean, an
yeah, I mean, you can
example.
find anything with this machine.
Now, like if you're used to, see, I started out with the whites, and their numbers, their VDIs are very different than the Equinoxes. So, Equinoxes, like, there's silver is, you know, anywhere from 21 to 34 or 40. And I say 21 because most people, that's a penny. But I have found a seated at 21. It was a steady 21
on this machine.
On this machine.
Really?
And it was about 10 inches down, 8 to 10 inches down, and I was, in my heart and in my mind, I was digging a penny signal. And it popped up a very, very good relief 1849 seated die.
Wow. So I mean, you really can't afford to not dig a signal.
Dig it, yes. Sorry.
You're good.
All right, but yeah, so hey, didn't have to move very far.
Okay, so this is a 25, 26. I think we're gonna make.
26.
I think we're gonna make this one our last signal, just to give you guys one more look of how this might come across, like when you're doing it yourself.
And that screen piece actually was probably from the Hurricane Michael. It blew somebody's piece of screen
Into our yard.
into our yard.
Let's see what we got going on here. And I mean, you know, this is our yard.
Fill.
Yeah, there's a ton of fill, but even though this is our yard, make sure you guys are careful with your holes. Like, dig as small a hole as possible and then cover it back up as good as you can. You know, you really don't want to upset anybody, and if you're in a public space, you really really want to take good care of that, because other people are going to use it too. Oh, there you go. Dead center. Oh,
It is
an old bolt, huh?
a brass nut.
Or yeah. Just,
There you go.
thanks. All right.
There you go.
Well, I hope that helped you guys out, and if you have any more, you know, further questions, we will be putting out a video soon-ish on like a pretty in-depth run of the Equinox 800. We're probably gonna just stick with you guys for a while, take you on a hunt at a place that we expect to find good relics, and then show you what those signals are gonna sound like. So, you know, stay tuned. In just a minute, we're gonna send you over to Roy, and he's gonna walk you through the Garrett Max, the AT Max.
Very cool.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody, this segment of the video is going to be dedicated to you guys who are interested in the AT Max. If you guys own one already, if you want to see how we use ours, or, you know, if you guys just bought one like the, you know, like the video is designed for, this is going to help you get started with that first hunt after it comes out of the box.
Yeah, it's
So,
very simple.
Yeah, Roy, tell us a little bit about your setup here, and talk to the good folks at home and let us know what's going on.
It took me a minute to figure it out, but once I figured it out, it's extremely simple.
Yeah.
I started off like Richard with the whites,
Uh-huh.
and then this one, like I said, at first it did give me some trouble because it's different than the whites. But once I figured it out, then there's nothing to it.
Okay.
I'll show y'all how to do it. I do have the 5-inch coil on there. I like it better. It hunts just as good as the big coil.
Yep.
The 11-inch coil. It's just lighter.
Okay.
You just have to. It takes you a little bit longer to cover something because the sweeps are smaller. Let's say that. but the depth and all is still the same.
And I think everybody can agree, or at least, you know, the veteran detectorist, you know, the slower you go, the better chance you're going to find, have of finding that really big relic. So show us how you would get started. Let me get a good position here. All right, there should work.
There's, right here is your turn on mode.
Yep.
All right, mine is already actually does it. You get, I hunt coins all the time. But when I hunt coins, the metal that's in coins is the material that we're hunting anyway for relics, like lead and copper and all this kind of stuff. So what I do, once I do that, I mean, me myself, I usually, if I'm hunting somewhere, the iron disc is what it does. If you're hunting into a bunch of iron, you can turn that up where it won't show, when you can't hear the iron. But me myself, I like to hear the iron. So I turn it to 0. You can just hold it all the way down. On the negative side, it goes to 0. And then, I mean, you ground balance it. Just hold your ground balance button right here. It says shift. Hold it down. Let it get down. This is about 85.
Yeah, we're right on the coast here, and I mean it's pretty high here.
And that's it. I mean, that's totally
you run it wide open on, I mean, with the coins, like the settings catered towards the coin metals. And then your sensitivity to, let's say 2 bars down from the high sensitivity. So you keep it almost all the way open. That's how I like to run my Equinox. Not all the way up, because when it gets to that top,
it'll start acting crazy.
It starts acting a little funny.
So you hook it there, and that will. And then once you get to running it, I mean, it's like anything else. The more you mess with it, the more you'll learn. And with this one, anything over 35, I dig. I don't care what it is, because that's where some of your buttons come up at a 40, your copper come up at a 75, silver usually comes up in the 80s, stuff like that.
And everybody do keep in mind that as we talk about these different detectors today, these numbers are not solid across the board. Now, a lot of times they're close, so with the Garrett and the Simplex and stuff, you're going to get similar numbers. But when we start talking about the Equinoxes, just throw everything you know about out the window.
That's totally different ball game there. But this one, usually your higher tone, because it goes with tones too. You got 50-something different tones. You can adjust that out too. Me, I don't.
You like to leave them all on?
Because the higher the tone, usually the more ferrous the metal. So, but if you're running across, say, 2 nails and there's a silver coin in the middle of it, you'll hear it. It'd be like, you know what I mean?
So you can definitely tell.
I mean, that's all it is to it.
All right, well, let's follow you around for a minute, and let's now keep in mind, everybody, this side is hunted out. We were earlier in the day. I mean, earlier in the day we were at a newer permission. I believe this is the way it'll come out, but
that's
just straight up iron there.
That's straight up iron.
Now, Roy does typically run, like the rest of us, he does use the wireless headphones. That is an awesome feature of the AT Max.
Yes, absolutely.
But, you know, just for sake of this, little segment, we're going to walk around and
they come wireless.
So, like we said last video, the wireless makes a big difference.
It's straight. But now watch this. See that? See that iron disc? Let's see. That's hitting like a 35. So you turn that up to like 40. No more iron.
It's absolutely quiet. But you like to be able to hear that iron just in case. Oh, almost had something poke through there.
But see, now with this one, if you hear that cracking like that, usually it's junk. If you set that like I said it, it's a good solid signal, dig it. I don't care if it's a 12.
Just
it's
dig
a good solid signal.
I think that's interesting to let everybody know. We'll walk around a little bit and see if we can get any hits. But when I use my whites, which is honestly seldom now because I've got that Equinox, and I'm trying to learn both of them. With my Garrett, I really enjoyed running with a little bit of discrimination. I like running about 30.
Some people do.
And that's just because the Garrett, in my opinion, is a lot noisier than the Equinox is.
Yes, it is.
But to its credit, you get more control of what you're listening to. You've got a good idea of what's in the ground wherever you're digging.
And that's where that iron disc comes in. Because you can set it to where, like I said, 35. If you set it on 32 to 35, you won't get all that iron at all. That's the way it is. I mean, now it's set on 40. You can hear it just barely.
It barely chirping through. Yeah.
But like I said, me, if you dig like I do, I want to hear that.
Now, I think that's funny, and you guys will hear this in a little bit after this clip, but I know that Dad runs the same way with his Equinox, and I don't like all that racket when I'm hunting, especially trashy areas. So I'll still run with my iron audio pretty much off, unless I'm checking targets, but we'll talk about that later. Dad, like you, he likes to hear everything, likes to hear every little bit of racket that it wants to give him.
That's how I turn that down.
And it should get a little louder, I imagine.
See, it's trash.
Yep.
It's iron. I mean, now if I was looking for iron objects, then I'd dig it up. But now square nails and stuff like that will sometimes come up as 70s and 80s. But which, if you're doing like us, you want them square nails. That lets me know where I'm
Yeah,
at.
that's definitely time period. I mean, the square nail you found earlier this hunt was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, show everybody real quick. So now this isn't, this is just intended to be a, you guys bought this detector or you guys use it and you're going to get out there and get after it today. This is what you need to do. These are the settings that we recommend, or at least we have had luck with. So
yeah, because I mean, the hardest part of learning this machine is what I had to know about that iron disc. That's the one that cancels out everything that you don't want. You know what I mean? And that was the hardest part of this thing.
Is opening up and.
I mean, the highest tone means that the more ferrous the metal is, which is the silver and all this. But now, like I said, gold always comes in like 40s.
Yep.
They always come in.
Yeah, your gold is going to be a low tone, and for me, or for everybody, whatever your machine reads as foil, that's going to be your gold range. So you're going to wind up digging a lot of pull tabs, a lot of beer bottles, or beer cans.
In 40s.
Yep.
So I mean,
just
low
it's
tones is what I mean. Me, I like digging low tone.
People cherry pick, but I think that it's a better practice to get into to just dig everything. I mean, you're going to find a lot of garbage. We've got piles and piles and 5-gallon buckets full.
Bucket full right
yeah,
now.
and this is just from what?
Yeah, that's
like
if you can see
2
down
hours
in there.
maybe. Yeah. I mean, we've got so much garbage that we've taken from out of the ground to get the few good targets that we find, but it's worth it in the long run because we've hunted this place a million times and still are coming back and finding more relics because we're getting rid of that trash signals. So
hey everybody, sorry for that abrupt end there. We had intended on filming another segment after this, but it was getting a little later, and as I mentioned earlier, we wound up having a problem in one of our members' families, so it really didn't work out the way we had intended. But I hope that this information helps you all out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us, and in the next upcoming video, you will see the the lower end entry-level detectors that we talked about last time be shown off, and we'll teach you guys how to get those started for your first hunt, as well as some pretty exciting videos on how to do advanced research, how to use modern map technology and mesh those with old historic maps you can find, and how to get permissions for your own awesome adventures. So thank you guys for watching again. See you in the next one.